everyone. April the 10th, 2022, and this is my second video I'm recording today on that upcoming full moon. This the 8th full moon in a row, linking in with the Galactic Center's energy. This is the chart for Greenwich, UK, and if you're curious why I use Greenwich, a couple of videos earlier I left a comment there explaining it, why this location is the fractal for Earth as a globe, why this makes total sense aside from the empiric experience having used that location, and it always seems to be matching with what is occurring on this planet in a bigger picture collectively. So this will be the full moon. We get to this in a minute, and you see all the planets here are on the right side now. I just want to roll back here to this picture to remind you that was the April 1st new moon, which started this 30-day cycle from new moon to new moon into April the 30th actually, so it's a little less than 30 days. Interesting is that in this chart all planets were on the left side, on the passive side, the receptive side, getting ready. I compared it to as getting ready to shoot the arrow with the bow. You pull the string back, and as really everything is on that side of the can I say it, the plumb line, right? That's the word I'm looking for. So this is the extremest yin point over here. So it's like the tide pulling out extremely far is the clear sign that when the tides then will change and roll in, it will be a surge. And that's exactly what we're likely to experience. So you see now all the planets are in this section of the zodiac except the moon. So the moon will play a crucial role of activating this full moon's energy. Now, before we get to speak about the full moon, first a few things aside from astrology. First, let's look at the sun. And this is what's going on at the back side of the sun. On the far side of the sun, there's this big sunspot group, which is almost 1/4 of the sun big. That is the remnant, or I guess remnant is really the wrong word, of that sunspot group 2975, which produced all these strong flares about 10 days ago now. And this is the video we can play here, and this is the 10th of April. You see, this is where the sunspot is. Now let me play it for you, the full sequence, which starts around mid-March. It goes pretty fast. You see here, you can read the date. This is the 6th. Right, and then we are at the 9th again. So if we roll it back a little bit, you see that big blob came over Earth's over the sun's. This is now seen from the back. You have to think the Earth is just right at the other side. So when that sunspot group disappeared on April the 2nd around the western limb, that means from the back of the sun, it will show itself appearing on the eastern limb, and that what we see here, that is April the 3rd. You see here it's just starting to get around the corner and then turn here into the backside, and it's constantly growing and enlarging. So this is an ominous big blob here on the solar surface. So we will see. That will come around, as I say, around the 17th. We can expect it to can come into view from planet Earth. So let's go back to astrology. Here we are. So this is the full moon of the 16th, next Saturday, between Good Friday and Easter. A very prominent, powerful time of the year. On the day 2 days earlier, just prior to the Black Friday, we have the black moon entering Cancer here, exactly at the cardinal point, where whatever planet comes into this axis of 0 degrees cardinal, and the moon is here too, whatever is in that axis is extremely visible, prominent in the collective sphere. So the shadow breaking open to be seen by everyone with the moon at 0 degrees Libra at this exact ingress moment is super powerful. Just a couple days earlier, as I showed you in my last video, we had Neptune and Jupiter conjoining, and that was when the moon was at 0 degrees Virgo, entering a new chapter, opening a new page. And then 2 days later, when the moon is here at 0 degrees Libra, then we are seeing the black moon exactly in that place. That's a really big omen, particularly as it coincides with Black Friday. We're getting into really deep waters now. And as I said in my earlier video, which I suggest you watch too, we are now in the 13-day sequence of wind, of spirit being carried by the wind and blown into all nooks and corners. Truth is no more can no more be hidden. It's coming into each corner, finds its ways in. That's what the wind does. Through the slightest little crack, you will feel the draft. That's kind of what we are seeing. And with the moon also in the cardinal axis, this is big. This is really a breakthrough chart here we are seeing. And this is just the initiation of a 9-month period with the black moon here expressing through the sign of the moon, bringing up all those dark emotions. The last time this was the case, 9 years ago, pretty much exactly, that was around 2013, 2014. You can think back. I don't have a clear assessment of what that was back then, but it's always when the black moon is in water signs, particularly in Cancer, in particular, as it's the moon sign. So the black moon, again, for those of you who are new to it, it is the place where the moon is farthest away from Earth. It is like the deepest trench in the ocean, where all the debris, the emotional stuff which is unresolved, pushed away, abuse, neglect, you name it, all those dark emotions which nobody wants to see, they are hiding there. When that spot comes right into the collective focus, as it seems to be happening as we speak, just at that moment when Black Friday is coming along. Very, very ominous, a big premonition, a big omen. So let's now go into the full moon, which is the culmination of the sun and the moon's 30-day cycle, when the moon is starting to approach the sun again, in that sense, from our point of view, and then getting into a solar eclipse actually on the 30th of April. So this is the energy is definitely building. On a side note, I just had a quick peek the last few days into the Ukraine situation. I expect a big breakthrough around the last days of April, and the Ukraine likely, in my opinion, will surrender. There will be a peace agreement somewhere around June the 7th. That's what is most likely, and this will change the world. This will change the whole power structures of this planet. Already you have probably heard the ruble is now tied with gold. 5,000 rubles is 1 gram of gold, and already there was a surge in the value of the ruble in the last week, I guess by more than 5% against the US dollar. And just on Friday, the Russian central bank lowered the interest rates, which usually is causing a deprivation of a currency, but it went the other way. Even though the interest rates are reduced, the ruble is picking up momentum. This might be a sign, a first clear sign, that fiat currencies are definitely on their way out, that gold and silver, precious metals, will now be unstoppable, and the ruble will lead the way. And I guess this is really unhinging the whole NWO plan of bringing in that collective slavery to a whole new level, as Dr. Harari, if you haven't heard of that name yet, Google him, Noah Yuval Harari. He is the chief advisor of Mr. Uncle Schwab. I leave it at that. I don't want to be banned, so I don't say more than just a little bit. But this moment when the moon enters the cardinal sign of Cancer, and we have a Sun Aries conjunction here at the 7th house cusp together with Pallas, well, if anything, this is really breaking the whole vessel open. It's Pandora's box, which is releasing all these skeletons into the open. Aries is the energy which doesn't fear opposition and conflict in search of greater truth. In Aries, E-R-I-S, for those of you who are new to it, Aries is about the same size as Pluto. Actually, Aries discovery caused Pluto to lose its planetary status. So Aries really has reset the order in the planetary system. Another story here. I don't want to go deeper here. It's taking too long. Stay focused. My issue usually. So the moon here rising at the first house cusp, yes, power to the people. That's what it basically means. It's in a very peaceful manner, but very insistent, consistent, bringing one step at a time, little by little, very diplomatic, by the book, as it was coined by Q. That's how this whole thing has to be rolled out. Pluto T-squaring that full moon. Yes, times of transformation are definitely just getting really hot. I mean, it's been happening all the while. So if we now just roll further on that same day, the 16th of April, just a few hours later, this is now as seen from the Sun, to think the Sun is here at the center. This is the symbol for Earth, and this is the symbol for Pluto. So there's an exact T-square here between, or a square, I should say, in that sense, to be clear. I mean, it's an exact square between Pluto and Earth, and just one day later, Mars will, actually no, I guess I'm wrong, Mars will square the Earth a day or two prior, as Earth moves faster than Mars. Yeah, so this already is, but it's pretty much simultaneous. Now, what is outstanding here, this moment when Sun and when Earth and Pluto, excuse me, are exactly in a square aspect, that's again the initiation, bringing things to a shifting gears into a new chapter. That's what squares are about. It's the peak of intensity. The square aspect is very male, very yang, bringing in the challenge. It's a confrontation which is described by a square aspect in a very general way. So the 0 degree Sagittarius rising, yes, powerful. This is a revolutionary energy which is coming in, and this again is just hours after the full moon. See here, the moon is also here marked in, even though this is a geocentric position, just shows you the moon is here at 28 degrees and 37 Libra. Again, that is just a few hours after the moon was exactly opposing the Sun Pluto opposition. But it just gets more interesting as on Easter Sunday then there's an exact Pallas Aries conjunction. Pallas and Aries here at 24-22 Aries. Pallas and Aries, yes, this is the two energies which definitely match together in their flavor. Pallas is about truth and justice, the analysis, step-by-step process, looking at all the angles, and Aries is the advocate of truth, of not shying back from conflict, taking on the challenge. So again, this is just an initiation chart of a whole cycle of the two, which is a multi-year, probably around 5 years or so. That's how long it takes for Aries and for Pallas, who is the fast one here, to one circle around the zodiac and catch up with Aries again. So this is the beginning of a 5-year cycle. And look what we see here in that chart, in that seed chart, a Mercury-Uranus conjunction. I like that. In Taurus. Now, whenever Uranus and Mercury are together, this is curiosity, this is inventiveness, this is turning each stone around and looking behind every corner. This is, and in Earth sign Taurus, this is about real results, real facts, which will be brought into the visible realm. And then, so here, meanwhile, we have a Scorpio moon. Scorpio, intensity. And then, okay, just a few hours later again, and the moon is here at around 7 degrees in Scorpio. Then Chiron shifts gears too. Chiron is the wounded healer here in Aries, and enters the most powerful line of hexagram 21, where it is in 21 is biting through obstacles. That's where we are in that whole multi-month period, roughly between the beginning of March to September, I guess, roughly speaking. Biting through obstacles. And the fifth line is the most powerful one. It's the ruler of the hexagram, so to say. So this initiates the core period of this present position. What stands out here in this chart, aside from that timing, just on the heels of all those other powerful alignments, what stands out here certainly is again here Mercury, Uranus and the North Node here all up in the 10th house together with Sedna. That's kind of the disclosure theme of bringing it into the open. The fight is no more in the back rooms, it is out in the collective arena, visible to everyone, with the sun up high here in the 9th house of higher truth and wisdom. Okay, now I leave it at this for this presentation. I will continue with another interesting chapter, which is just then getting really juicy on Monday, Easter Monday, when Pholus, Salacia and Maki Maki within an hour will form a perfect T-square. Just giving you a little preview here. That's Maki Maki, that's Salacia, and that is Orcus and Pholus. But more on that in the next episode. Thanks again. Hopefully you keep watching. Okay.